Why are you looking at Odie's butt?
I was looking at the tag to see if there was a date on it, and it's not there. This is always sitting in this chair.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Odie. Garfield is not very nice to him.
No.
No, unfortunately. He's a good puppy. But he's always like right here in your chair.
Mm-hmm. So we are back for another adult-themed conversation.
Adult themed?
No, it's not adult themed.
like Ron Jeremy adult themed?
No,
or
definitely not. No, it's a adult. What are we? Action figure collector, nostalgia, blah blah blah.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, adult content. Not even content. I don't know. We're adults and we're talking.
Yes.
How about that? So I had a topic. David doesn't even know what it is because I wanted him to know. Oh, what did I call you down here for? Yeah.
I don't know. What did you call me down
here for?
No,
I was thinking about something. I was down here in the museum and I was doing some stuff. And I thought about something, and I said, I'll ask David, see what his thoughts and ideas is.
Uh-oh.
And I figured, while we're talking about it, or when I ask, I can just record it, and then we don't have to talk about it 3 times.
But we will anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes.
Yeah. But sometimes when you discuss stuff, the first time, you know, ideas and thoughts pop into your head, and then when you go back and kind of forget about what you initially said. But anyway, nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
That word, you hear it a lot in the collecting community, especially when you collect older stuff. You hear the word nostalgia. But when you hear that word, what do you think or feel about nostalgia? Is it an overused word? Does it capture the thought and the meaning behind it, you think? Or is it like overused?
I think it depends on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, yeah, it's overused. It's overused like a lot of terms are overused and abused, especially if anybody can make any money off of it. It'll be overused and abused, like the term hero. Hero is a very overused and improperly used term. Promise, love, friendship. I mean, there's a lot of... friendship is a really heavily abused one on Facebook. Are those
because
people,
you're a Facebook friend.
But are they your friends?
Yeah, you don't even know them.
You don't even know who the hell these people are on Facebook. But they're your friends. Thanks, Zuckerberg.
Let's wind it back to nostalgia.
Yeah, of course. It's a very overused term because there are a lot of industries who their bread and butter is exploiting the concept of nostalgia. There's a lot of people, and I've pointed this out before, you spend your entire childhood wishing you were older. You say, oh yeah, I can't wait to grow up. People won't be able to tell me what to do. I'll have all this money. I'm going to buy whatever I want, stay up as late as I want. And then you grow up and you become the age you were aiming for, and you have no money. And everybody's taking something from you, and everybody's telling you what to do. It's far worse. And then you spend your whole childhood wishing you were a kid again. Well, you can't regress. You can't suddenly become a little kid. I know there are some people who have tried, and you see them being made fun of in the media. These are these like 55-year-old man. What was that one? 55-year-old guy in England, and he dresses like
a baby,
like Shirley Temple.
No, the one that dressed like a baby and he sleeps in a crib.
There's a bunch of people that do that.
And wear a bottle.
Wears his nappy. Yeah. His little
But
diaper.
Back to the word nostalgia.
Hey, I'm trying here.
What to you? What
I
does
was
the... Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
making a point.
I'm
You
sorry.
ran me over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
These people, you can't really go back. Is
Mm-hmm.
the point? All you can do is try to find something
Mm-hmm.
that you can grab hold of that will remind you of those innocent times, of those simpler times.
Capture
Yeah,
moments.
capture moments of it, like what we do here, like
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of adult collectors of anything do, is they tend to go out, whether it's action figures or statues or comic books or trading cards or whatever they're into, go find a piece of it and bring it home in the hopes that it will help to keep that memory fresh, remind them, or help maybe even bring back a piece of that feeling that they had when they were younger, which is not easy to do, no matter how hard you try. And there are people that get really deep in it, that it's, just finding toys and action figures or whatever like we have, it's not enough. And they want to live like it was that time period.
Mm-hmm.
They want to put up wood paneling in their home. They want, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want to wear Old Spice, but really Old Spice that they found at a flea market. Things like that. They want to go back or they want to go to Goodwill and they'll buy that gigantic cathode ray television that weighs 600 pounds. They are trying to reinsert themselves into a certain time period completely.
Mm-hmm. So when you hear the word nostalgia, what does nostalgia mean to you? What does that word mean?
Just something that reminds you of something else,
Mm-hmm.
that perhaps it's a good memory
Mm-hmm.
or a good feeling. It doesn't really generate a negative connotation. You are nostalgic for when you used to go to a certain place, when you used to do a certain thing,
Mm-hmm.
when you used to own a certain thing or live a certain way. And for a lot of people, that relates to childhood
Mm-hmm.
mostly.
Okay. What about the feeling? Do you think you can really capture that nostalgic feeling?
Not really. Not
Mm-hmm.
entirely. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can get a piece of it, but you have to keep in mind who you are now is not who you were then.
Right.
A lot has changed. You are not the same person. Think back to when you were younger. You don't even have to think back to childhood. You could think back to 10 years ago and say, I don't believe I used to think that, or I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe, wow, I can't believe I said that, or I thought that. You change. You're not the same person. We're constantly changing, and our perceptions and understandings are constantly changing. Not everybody is exactly the way you remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you knew somebody 20 years ago and met them now, are they exactly the way they were 20 years ago?
No.
And if they are, it's a little scary.
It reminds me of an episode of the Twilight Zone. I don't
Uh-huh.
know the name of it. Maybe we can find it out and put the episode title
Mm-hmm.
on the screen. But the guy, he was an older guy, and in Twilight Zone, everybody's in their 30s, but they look 60. But
Everybody's 32. Thank you,
yeah,
Rod.
he's in his 30s. He's married. And he works at a toy
Yeah,
company.
I was
He
wondering if that was
makes
the one.
yeah
The
he
toy
makes
manufacturer.
he makes toys, children's toys. But his whole time, the whole episode, he's thinking back when he was a kid on whatever street they named the
He's
street.
constantly reminiscing.
Yeah, and he had all of these great memories, and oh, when we used to do this and when we used to do that, and he would have dreams of going back. And by the end of
Mm-hmm.
it, he saw that it wasn't as good or as great as he remembered it.
Yeah, something was happening, some kind of weird time warp
Mm-hmm.
where because he would go by that place, he would just kind of, instead of coming home, I think he even missed his own surprise birthday party, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
he did.
Instead of going home, he'd go to the old neighborhood that was like way out of the way and wander around and look at it and reminisce. And one day he wanders in there, if you haven't seen the episode, wanders down there, and it's like it was 30 years ago. And he's like, oh my God, even the kids. And he keeps going back to find out and comes to the realization it was a really awful neighborhood. The kids hated his guts. They used to beat the hell out of him. Everything that he thought was a good memory, it was something he fabricated.
Yeah, but we say that to say, it's okay to pick out memories, I think. Because I do.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've said this before, and it's the truth. My childhood was not horrible by no stretch of the imagination compared to a lot of people. Now,
Sure.
we didn't have a lot. And growing up, I didn't know we didn't have a lot because we didn't have it. So,
That's a good way to look at it.
you didn't know. We didn't know we were poor. And that we didn't have a lot of stuff until you went to some place and somebody had something. And you're like, hey, we don't have that. Why
And
not?
that's kind of what sucks about modern technology too. Because
Yeah.
back then, you didn't really. Not only did you not know the difference, but if you did, a lot of times you didn't really care.
Yeah, it didn't matter
It did-
because
you found a way to make it work.
yeah, you did make it work, and you lived your whole life not realizing that, man, we didn't have none of that. And then by the time you realized it, it's 10, 15 years later,
Yeah.
and you look back and like, whoa, I made it through that. But
sure.
nowadays, a 5-year-old got to have a phone unless they can't survive.
Yeah, and nowadays it's like it's in your face that you're falling into a certain hierarchy. And there is a hierarchy. There is a caste system, whether it's called that or not. For a variety of reasons, it's always been that way in humanity, and it always will. There's always going to be things that divide us, whatever it is. And it's not necessarily an evil thing, and it doesn't have to be, but there are differences. And the media loves portraying those differences now, and it makes younger people feel miserable. They all feel like they're missing something because they don't have the latest iPhone or
Yeah.
the new pair of Jordans or something. But back then, it didn't matter that much. There was and there were the kids that would pick on you. There was the handful of kids that seemed like they had it all, and they could have a smug attitude and pick on you. But for the most part, you could kind of let it roll off your shoulders. You know?
But again, it's okay to recapture moments.
Yeah.
But I think to constantly desire,
Or
I guess,
dwell in it.
Dwell in it, almost live in it, and almost make yourself sick with depression because you want to go back to a time and place. And then again, if you really look at it, if you really were to think and be honest with yourself, was your childhood that amazing to where you would want to go and live through it again?
If anything, most people, I think, if they were going to go back and relive their childhood again, they'd make as many changes as possible. I know I would. There's a lot of things I could have done without.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's so much that I would change, because again, it wasn't bad. I didn't have abusive parents. My parents were loving and kind. They still are. They're over parents. You hear about them, that over mother. That mother that's like the super mom that won't let you go. That's my mama.
Well, that's not my mother.
That's mine. She want me to move in now. Oh yeah, come live with us. Her and my dad. Yeah, move right on in. Your room's still there.
Yeah.
I got that parents. Those are my parents.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't horrible. But do I want to go and say, man, I want to go back and relive 0 to, I don't know, 15, 16, however old? No. I don't want to do that, even though it wasn't that bad. But back to
I have
nostalgia.
to go back to public school again.
Oh God, no! Don't ever want to do that.
Another good Twilight Zone episode too is the one. It was an earlier one. I think it was a '50s one, where the guy goes back to the small town, and he doesn't realize. I think he's trying to go back to his job, and he ends up back in the small town, but went through again a time warp,
Oh yeah.
and he saw himself as a child, and his father figured out who he was, and he was sitting there and saying, listen, you have your time wherever it is. This is his time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
explain it
I
to him.
remember now.
He's not you anymore. He's not you anymore. You can't go back. You have your own life to live.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got it. But back
Yeah,
to just being nostalgic. I think it's okay. I think the term is kind of overused,
certainly.
especially in modern day collecting, because people use it when you see older things. They say, "Oh yeah, this is so nostalgic," and you're like,
Yeah.
"No,
Is it really reminding you of something?
it's all ripped to shreds."
Oh, no. I get that sometimes though with the showcases because I do vintage showcases of I pick out something or I get a request and I put the video up and I get people that are like, holy crap, I forgot all about that. I think I had this or something like that, and it gives them that spark. And that's kind of nice, and that's a true nostalgic feeling when somebody sees something like that. Or you saw how I was if you saw me do the unboxing of the Play School Familiar Places McDonald's,
Yeah.
because I actually had that when I was a little kid, and I'm sitting there practically playing with the damn thing. I'm like, wow, because it was nice to have my hands on it again. And I had somebody even comment on that one that said they were watching it, and then when I hit the cash register, because the cash register in that thing actually rings, a bell in it, no electronics in those days, guys. Ding, 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 and that was like a defining moment for the person who commented. That was the memory. They said, when you hit the bell, suddenly I realized, oh my God, wait a minute, I recognize this set, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and those things are good, and I don't think they're unhealthy. I think it gets unhealthy when you do too much and you try to make every second of your life a time in the past,
Yeah,
the 70s, the 80s, or whenever your mind is stuck at. I think that's when it starts getting kind of weird for people, when everything you talk about, everything that surrounds you is that period of time, and you can't separate yourself. You know.
yeah. I don't know if I need the bicentennial window curtains in my room anymore. I had bicentennial window
You
curtains.
did?
Yeah,
Oh
when
wow.
I was a kid. Yeah.
Oh
'Kay,
wow.
well, bicentennial was a big thing. That
Yeah, but you don't need no curtains.
they made bicentennial
Everything.
everything.
I remember
They
that.
did. They made bicentennial
They even
freaking
made a
everything.
movie.
But bi-
That's my mother. Go ahead.
Bicentennial Man was not about bicentennial.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, not the one that you're thinking it is.
Yeah, with what's the guy that died that killed
Robin
himself?
Williams.
Yeah,
Robin
him.
Williams. That's a different concept entirely. It had
Oh,
nothing to
was
do
it?
with the actual bicentennial in 1976. But it was huge, and yes, we had the curtains. It had little soldiers and stuff on it. I don't. I had also I had Huckleberry Hound, Charlie Brown, and Disney World bed sheets.
I had Sesame Street bed sheets and
Yeah.
curtains and blanket, and I still got that blanket.
I don't need to sleep in them anymore.
Oh no.
I don't need to sleep in. Besides, it would be like a twin mattress size, anyways. It wouldn't have very much space. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are some people that would like get that and put it on the bed. And is that really necessary? You're not going to wake up and be 6. It's not going to happen. I promise you.
So what give you other than action figures and stuff? What give you that feeling of nostalgia? What makes you say, "Oh man, I remember that," or this time, you can like you'll hear a song, "Oh, that came out in 1982. I was in, I don't know, 6th grade," and
Probably, well, the music is a good example.
yeah.
Music can do that. You listen to especially 80s genre music,
Yeah.
and that sticks in your mind really well because of the music videos. This when videos were first starting to roll out. And sometimes when I hear a song, I can actually remember the video because I can't find them now. You could find, I suppose, if you looked on YouTube, you could dig up the old videos
Yeah, you
if you knew
can.
what you were looking for. But I don't know if there's a channel that's actually just playing videos all day anymore.
Yeah, they do on Pluto. They have on them. They have those channels, and it's by genre like 80s and 90s and hip hop and
Oh,
R&B.
original music videos? Okay, I didn't
Yeah, they
know.
play them. We don't watch it, but they
But
play it.
yeah, old music and old television shows or certain old movies, especially if I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
If I actually saw it in the theater as a kid, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, I saw in the theater. Star Trek, the motion picture, and Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, I saw in the theater. Stuff like that. Murder by Death. You remember Murder by Death? It was a
No, I've
comedy.
been trying to see that movie.
We did see it.
No,
We saw it
didn't.
together. Murder by Death. Yes, we did.
We didn't see that.
It was the comedy, and they had the guy
What happened in it?
Peter Falk
Yeah,
was in
he
it.
was in it.
Yeah, and he was playing basically himself in the film. It had all these famous detectives in the house, and they were trapped in the house.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
Yeah, but that wasn't Murder by Death, and Peter Falk wasn't playing Columbo.
He wasn't playing Columbo. He was playing a Columbo-like character.
No, in that movie, he was a gigolo. That wasn't that movie?
No,
Well, I
you're
don't
way
know
off.
if
But
okay.
we saw Murder by Death together.
Okay.
Murder by Death was the first film I ever saw in the theater.
Oh, okay.
And then Star Wars, the original Star Wars, I saw in the theater. So stuff like that, sticks out.
Yeah, today I was doing a thing on the computer, and they had this survey, do you like this or not? And it was this outfit, and it was the jean jacket and the jean pants. And I was like, oh man, that looks so 80s. And I hit like, and then it says, what do you like or dislike about it? And you had to type it in. And I was like, it reminds me of an 80s fashion. I like it because it reminds me of 80s fashion, and I really like that. And I thought about it then because, you sometimes you'll see like haircuts, like you had the high top and the Gumby, and you had mullets and stuff in the...
I can do without the nostalgic haircuts.
But those things, when you see them, you remember, and the rat
Yeah.
tail, and you braid it, and all of that, and beads. When girls used to wear beads in their hair.
Friendship pins, do you remember those?
No, but I remember friendship bracelets, and we used to make them.
Yeah, the friendship pins, it was like basically a safety pin, and you put little beads on it, and you put it in your shoelace.
Oh,
You never saw that?
we used to make the friendship bracelets. And then you made all of these different bracelets with the different colors. But it's just things like that. You see them and you remember them. And I just thought about that, and I wanted to talk to you and ask you about it and probably share it with the community. See, what they think about nostalgia. Is it an overused term? Is it
Sure
something
is.
that can be truly captured? Do you want to capture it?
Yeah, it could turn out to be something entirely different.
Yeah.
It could turn out to be, you could end up fooling yourself and
Yeah.
being unhappy with that conclusion when you come to it. And it's definitely overused because, like I said, anything that somebody can profit from, they're going to overuse it and abuse it. And that definitely falls into that category.
Anything else?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I wanted to talk
I
about.
guess that's the point. And of course, if anybody has any comments on that, they can feel free to post it in the comment section down below and get the conversation rolling.
Yeah. Okay, until next time.